Hi, my name is Kevin Thomas, W1DED, and this is Q5 Ham Radio. This is part 6 of our 7-part series on contesting fundamentals with Mark K1RX. By now, you've heard a lot about your own station, the good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly. And if you're operating from an apartment under an HOA or with real physical limitations, you're not alone. Many excellent contesters started exactly there. The question is, how do you keep the passion growing when your station can only take you so far? In this episode, we talk about the power of joining a like-minded team. Operating from a multi-operator station is one of the fastest ways to learn, grow, and see contesting from an entirely new perspective. You gain access to better antennas, different strategies, new operating styles, and just as important, tribal knowledge that can't be found in any manual. This is where skills accelerate, confidence builds, and lifelong friendships often begin. You don't need to be a superstar to contribute, just curious, prepared, and willing to learn. This series is proudly supported by DX Engineering, helping operators at every level build, refine, and get more out of their stations. Welcome back, Mark.
It's great to be back. Thanks for having me.
So, Mark, I'm really looking forward to this episode. Multi-ops are a great experience. I had the good fortune to be invited down to J62K, and I've got to say the experience with those operators as well as the camaraderie was fantastic. So get us started.
That is clearly a great place to be. There's so much learning, so much shared experience one can enjoy. It's remarkable. But for those of us, and there's a lot of us out there that just can't afford a large station, don't have the physical ability to get it done, there are so many places you as an individual can really participate in these contests at a multi-operator environment. It really helps drives the passion even greater than just sitting at home and looking at the radio and hoping for the best. It really does put you in a better place. So in preparation for things like that, you want to get your skills under control with a lot of the practice, the logging and all that. Keep practicing and preparing for that special time when you are able to operate from a multi-op setup. You want to take every opportunity to operate from the better station with all the better equipment. It really is a gold mine for learning. New experiences, new individuals, new people you get to meet, and they all carry unique experiences that they're more than willing to share in that time. So you want to proactively reach out to these owners. You're not going to be the superstar, no doubt, when you show up, but you will enjoy a lot of great opportunity there to grow and learn. There was a thing I can recall in my time. I used to do competitive sailing, and the owner of the boat was always in search of a crew. Somebody wouldn't be available, didn't have the skills, or just a variety of things. So it was always a challenge to get 5 or 6 people on this boat, on a 30 or 40 foot sailboat, and have the time to do maybe around an island race that might be 90 miles long, an overnight kind of thing. Equate that experience to people in the radio world with multi-op stations. Generally, everybody's looking for some additional help. It could be in the form of your professional work that you do. You're an IT specialist. Me personally, I'm not a computer guy, a network guy. I love to have people with that skill level show up at my station and operate, and give them a chance to do what they want to do, and they can help me at the same time. There's so many different things that one can do at a multi-op. You could be a person that enjoys running or got the skill for running stations at a high rate. Maybe there's an interest in taking a slower pace, just looking for multipliers in a contest. Just tune the bands on a separate radio and find new multipliers that can add to your score, things like that. People just enjoy repairing things, just being in the background, helping where they can, maybe jumping in and substituting for someone who needs to take a break. So there's all kinds of places where one can move into and get to experience so many different aspects of a multi-op type of environment.
So tell me more about that. You've talked about practice and developing skills. What else should I be considering as I move toward looking for an invite to a multi-op team?
If they're open to just having you observe, come in and just sit back and watch what's going on, pick up a pair of headphones, listen, experience some of the antennas, that are in use, just to listen. I mean, that can be a positive thing. Even if they don't operate, it's okay, because any kind of exposure is only going to benefit the multi-op at some point or another. And I think that's critical. But clearly you ought to be capable of sitting down and running the logging program without any issue, know a lot of the features. In a multi-op environment, there are typically features that, as a single operator person, assisted or unassisted, will be utilized. Passing multipliers, looking at windows that show the frequencies of all the other transmitters or all the other stations that might be in running. That kind of visibility is a whole new view, and it plays into the situation awareness that we're all looking at. So if at all possible, beyond just the visit, you want to maybe do a visit where you can spend some time in maybe a smaller contest if they're open to that. Again, the objective is to knock down all the barriers, all the things that might intimidate you coming into a brand new setup, give you the opportunity to see how things work and whatever in maybe a more relaxed environment instead of a full-blown everybody's trying to win this thing type of setup. So there's definitely take the time to do an introductory visit. Come check out the antennas and see what you've got to work with. It'll be very, very valuable for you.
Mark, it seems obvious that there's a lot of differences in multi-op teams from K3LR to PJ2T to J62K and others. Can you tell me a little bit about the different personalities of those teams and what I should be aware of as I'm looking for one that might fit my operating style?
Well, it's really driven by the personalities, the individual motivations at these stations. I can't speak for Tim at K3LR, but I know his team of operators are extremely motivated. They want to win at all cost, and that's the fundamental. And anything that contributes to winning is the number one objective, period. And then there's countless other people out there, like the J62 multi-op, a little more casual, a little more relaxed. Although K3LR is winning and having fun, you too can have fun. But it's at a more relaxed and lower level kind of setting, which is absolutely okay, because it's really about the fun of this thing. Like I said early on in these episodes, for me, it's the fun. And if I happen to win something, that's great too. But I'm having fun, and I want to share that fun with others. So sitting in a multi-op, even if it's a relaxed environment, you can still gain a tremendous experience. There might be one or two individuals that, say, go, 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 we want to win. Let's try and beat somebody. And it could come in the simplest form as the scoreboard, online scoreboard that we're now utilizing, which is a fantastic motivator. A few people in the crew might look at that and say, hey, we could beat, K1XYZ if we just got on a few more bands or, put more people in the seats and kept going. And you end up with these little wins as you go along by monitoring a contest scoreboard. So it's a really great motivating element. But you'll get different personalities in these multi-ops. Some that, again, they're happy to go at a slower pace and work multipliers. They're making a contribution. Maybe they're not even operating. They're up on a tower fixing an antenna that if we get this thing working, it will save the entire operation. There's so many different jobs one can do and add value to the total group. And that's what's, really to be stressed here. You don't have to be the superstar to, dominate. You may have great skills and natural ability. They're going to utilize that wherever they can, and that's a good thing. But you're going to learn this whole thing about group chemistry. That's a real cool thing, is when you get a collection of people together that get along great, they're laughing and making jokes, and different things are going on over the course of that 48-hour contest. You've really got something special. And with that comes the development of these lifelong friendships. I've got countless friends around the world that I've been fortunate enough to have, and it all started in a lot of multi-ops. There's one thing about operating from home and talking to people around the world and getting call signs in front of you, and you get familiar with those call signs over the years. And then maybe at some point in your life, you actually meet them, which is a fantastic opportunity, because already you've got that common bond of multiple years of operating and talking to each other and helping each other with points and things like that. But when you actually have the opportunity to go to a multi-op, be it in your country or being in a Caribbean location or wherever it might be, you're going to walk away with some incredible memories that are going to last forever. And it's just a remarkable experience. But as you mentioned in your intro, tribal knowledge, you just can't beat it. You cannot beat the tribal knowledge that you get in being in a group of people and everybody sharing their experiences. Contesting in general, it's an individual sport. It really comes down to your individual interest and level of motivation. And when you're with a larger group, you get to experience all of those individual experiences too. And there's just so much to learn and grow with.
Mark, you've made it clear that there are a lot of different experiences at different multi-op teams, but tell me more about what I might expect when it comes to team leadership, whether I have the latitude to make band changes, develop my own strategy, scheduling, all those different things. What might I expect going to a multi-op?
Typically, the owner of the station will probably dictate the overall strategy. And if that means scheduling operators, that's great. I've run multi-ops where I have no schedule. It's like you show up, there's a seat available, you sit down and you operate, a little more relaxed. Other stations might try it a little more, little stricter in their operating schedule, which is okay. And you just have to adapt to whatever, the overall strategy is. You feel free to admit that, look, I don't have a lot of experience. I've done this, this, and this. I've played these contests. I'm familiar with this logging program. I know that you're using the same. I'm familiar with the radios that you're using. I don't own one, but I've used, all kinds of different things. You can kind of preload the decision-making with this level of information for the owner or whoever dictates the strategy for the contest. It might not be the owner. It could be one or two people who come year after year after year. They've seen the progress in the station. They know what to expect. They know what the shortcomings might be. It's that set of individuals that might set the tone for the whole operation. So it's really a matter of just being flexible and adaptive to whatever's there, however they want to operate it. And if that works for you in your chemistry, and you can perhaps tolerate someone who's yelling and screaming all weekend because they're excited, that's great. If you like a quieter environment, you might find that at a multi-op as well, but all working quietly toward a successful conclusion. So there's a wide range of things that one will derive from that experience.
So, Mark, for the viewer that's watching this and now interested in a multi-op, how do they go about actually finding one?
I would check with local radio clubs. I would check the results of a lot of the contests that are out there. It's all public knowledge. And reach out to them. We have the luxury of having a thing called QRZ.com, which usually has an email address. Reach out to some of these people. I'll say probably greater than 50 or 80% of the time, these owners of these stations are looking for new people. They really are. There's really kind of a turnover that goes on. It's a kind of a phenomenon I've seen over the years where I've had upwards of 20 people come to my station, operate 5 separate transmitters for the weekend. And then over the years, it dwindles down to maybe 2 or 3 because people have gone off, done their own thing. They've learned a lot. They want to go apply it to their own station. They've moved. A variety of reasons why people come and go. So it's always a challenge for a multi-op to just maintain any level of personnel to run these things. And so I think generally speaking, people are going to be very receptive to your interests, especially if you walk in and say, yeah, I've done all these contests, not great. I made 100 contacts here. I made 50 here. I've got DXCC now. That's great. That doesn't have to be a requirement, but you can show or demonstrate or speak to that experience and bring that to them. And in all likelihood, they're going to say, yeah, we'll find a place for you. We'll make this happen. You know, it may not be the most desired band because there's not much activity, but just to be a part of it is a huge plus in your path. Something to consider there.
Mark, I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the time. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Thomas, W1DED. This has been Q5 Ham Radio, part 6 in our 7-part series with Mark K1RX about contesting. 73.